Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Today I'm giving you this all matte, kind of smoky, but still very clean liner look. And everything is matte. Face, lips, eyes, it's all matte. Two palettes I'm gonna use in this are the Too Faced Natural Matte and the Meet Matrimony palette by theBalm. This blends impeccably well, and I could recommend this for anybody with light to medium skin tones. And then this, it doesn't blend the best, but I still really like it for packing all over the lid and for smudging out liner. So it's really useful if you want to create smoky eyeliner. This look and this technique is going to work for everybody, no matter your eye shape, your skin tone, whatever, and it'll really work with any occasion, with any colored lip. You can make it as dramatic or as toned down as you want, as smoky and smudgy and grungy as you want, or as clean as you want. So if you want to see both how I get this look and the technique that I use to get this liner, then please keep on watching. So first thing is, you guessed it, Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. And you could blend that out with your finger, but I'm blending it out with a Sephora Pro Smoky Crease Brush. Another non-surprise is that I'm going to be using the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. I'm going to set my whole eye using Heaven with the Real Techniques Bold Metals 200 brush. And for this, I'm just patting. Patting is a good motion to use when depositing color. And then I'm going to take my Inglot 6SS. It's a great blending brush, and I'm going to use Nudie from the palette. This is one of my favorite crease colors for light skin tones. And I'm just dusting that into the crease using circular and windshield wiper motions. This should not look like a ton of color. It should just kind of lay down something for our gradient to blend into. And using the Real Techniques 203 brush, I'm going into Cashmere Bunny on the fluffy side of that brush as opposed to like the more flat side. And I'm going to put this on the outer corner and in the crease just on the outer portion. And just blend that out with that fluffier brush. Okay, now we're gonna do the liner, and I would call this a slightly smoky liner, meaning that it's not supposed to look super crisp. It's going to look still dark and give us definition, but it's gonna look a little bit more smoked out rather than like a really crisp line that you would get with a liquid liner. So we're not gonna use a liquid liner today. I'm going to start off with a gel crayon, and I'm using the Marc Jacobs one. It's my favorite. And so right now I'm just going basically in between the lashes and kind of underneath them in my upper waterline. That's a technique called tight lining. If you wear contacts, you should probably skip this, but I like to start off doing that. Kind of ensures that you don't have like that fleshy look between your eyelashes and your eyeballs. And I can't talk while I do it, so I'm just gonna tell you, I'm going to put a really thin line along my upper lash line. Okay, I feel like I was not super successful in making that neat, but it's okay because we're gonna blend it out and make it work. So I'm taking my Nars Push Liner Brush. They also make paint brushes like this, so you can use whatever works best for you and your budget, but I'm gonna take Risque from the Natural Matte palette, and I'm just going to wiggle over that line to smudge it out. The more vigorous you are with this, the more you're gonna smoke it out. Again, I'm trying to be neat and get more precise definition out of this. Going smokier is not bad, obviously. I mean, I love a good smoky eye, but this is something that I want to look kind of just like clean. And then on the inner corner, you don't want to deposit too much color. You want the line to be slightly thinner on the inner corner and slightly wider on the outer corner. And I'm going to wing it out a little bit as well. Making it slightly wider on the outer corner is going to give your eyes a lift. Since my eyes are really round, I find it more flattering to not put as much product in there. So next I'm going to take my Meet Matrimony palette from theBalm. I'm going to use Matte Rossi. It's like this taupey brown with like a hint of purple to it. I want to keep this very neutral, but you could use like some of the more reddish or plum shades. And I'm just going to smoke out that line a little bit more. I'm kind of just going right over it, maybe like, you know, 0.5 millimeter higher. And if you have long lashes, you can leave it like that and just put on mascara and you'll be good to go. I kind of need help, so I'm going to define it even more. But this is like really a no rules kind of technique, so you can just continue to apply liner and smudge it out until you're satisfied with the result. I'm also going to put Matte Rossi on my bottom lash line with the Push Liner brush. I'm connecting it up to that little wing. I'm just going to fix my eyebrow real quick. You know, I'm just not perfect. Now I'm going to add a little more liner just at the root of the lash. And this time, hopping back into my matte palette with the Push Liner brush, I'm taking the black shade and I'm going to really carefully smoke this out even further. But I want to keep this close to the lash line. Black is going to create definition, whereas the lighter colors are just to enhance that blended and smoky effect. Now that brush that we used before in the outer V area with Cashmere Bunny from the Too Faced palette, I'm just going back in and kind of blending the outer portion of the liner into the lid a little bit. Then I'm going over with more of the black. Now the wing is looking a little weird because I haven't put black on the bottom lash line yet, so I'm gonna do that right now. And I'm making sure to connect that. Wiping off my brush and picking up a little bit more of that taupe shade, Matte Rossi, and blending that out again. Again, this is just a bunch of back and forth and blending and adding more until you're happy, and I'm just doing like what I consider to be the most perfected version. Just getting rid of a little bit over here. And finally, just adding a little more black in a precise fashion to get that definition. Just going back in with some of the lighter colors and doing some finishing touches. I always like to finish with the black because I want to put that definition back in before I'm done. And now I'm going to take my setting brush with a little bit of translucent powder on it and dust off any fallout that I may have gotten. This will only work if you've already powdered underneath your eyes, by the way. And now off camera, I'm going to do top and bottom mascara, and I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie, the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes. And P.S. I really recommend using black glue with this look. And the last thing I'm doing is just putting a little bit of black shadow over the lash band, so it just looks more blended and you don't lose any of that richness because the band is clear. And this is the finished eye look. Now let's move on to the rest of the face. Okay, so for blush, you could really do anything with this look. I don't feel like a coral blush would look good. Like, what do you think? I don't know why everybody loves coral blushes so much. Anyway, I would recommend like a mauve or pinky blush with this look. Unless your skin tone is very like pinkish, reddish, then I would go with more of a coral or like a brownie blush. A brown blush actually would look really nice with this, like a very neutral blush, but I'm gonna go with one of my favorites that I used in, I think, my last video. This is the Hourglass blush in the shade Mood Exposure. And I'm not highlighting today because this is a very like clean all matte look, but this blush has a sheen to it, so it's still gonna make my cheeks look nice and fresh without looking highlighted. That's a bit more than I wanted actually, so I'm going to take my powder brush and kind of soften it. And now for lips, you could really do any color lip with this look. I rarely say that. I feel like I'm a very particular person, but I really do mean it. But this time I'm going to use another one of my favorites, Kat Von D's Bow and Arrow. And this is a matte liquid lipstick. You could use a liner with this, but you don't have to. I find that for me it works just fine without. And this is it. This is the finished look, you guys. I feel very like Charlotte Tilbury with this. What do you think? Anyway, that is all. Please don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.